everyone. Welcome to another awesome broadcast day. It's currently Friday, and we are at the 1 o'clock broadcast as opposed to the 11 o'clock broadcast. My name is Richard Carlton, creator of FMtraining.tv, where every day, Monday through Friday, including this coming Monday, apparently, we're going to be broadcasting, doing awesome stuff. So today is a very exciting day. We have Jacob Taylor here, one of our ace hitters. He is the smartest person I know. Well, him and Wim DeCourt, the two smartest people I know about FileMaker Server. And so since Wim works for a competing company, we work with Jacob today, right? So at least one of the two smartest people works for me. I like that part. So we're going to be talking about FileMaker Server. It's open Q&A. Some of you have already been posting your questions about FileMaker Server, et cetera, et cetera. So that's very exciting. Upcoming broadcast schedule. Let's talk about this a little bit. I'm going to press the button right here. If you go to fmtraining.tv, which is our website, press the live button right here. It's amazing. And you will see live data coming out of FileMaker. This is FileMaker-driven HTML. It's pretty awesome. So today is open Q&A. Then Monday is going to be stupid beep noises. We'll play that a little bit. And that's going to be kind of dumb, but kind of important because we need more than just beep noises. We need sometimes some audio cues about FileMaker. And this is kind of how to do some of that. One of my engineers decided to put a demo together and did that. It's pretty interesting. And then Nick is scheduled for Margaret. You got him on Monday. Margaret, you got him on Tuesday, 1/18. I just talked to him, and he's not going to be ready for, I don't think, a release on that day. Yeah, so I suspect within a week or so we will see it, but I don't want to schedule Tuesday with Nick on X3 for the beta release yet. We are going to start, once X3 comes out, we're going to start the starting point light process, which is where I have the junior engineers kind of dumbed down starting point quite a bit so I can use it without excessively Nick doing crazy stuff. I will take a more simple interface if I can understand it. It's kind of my goal. I use it for training. We use it for the videos, demos, things like that. Then Wednesday next week, we got Monkey Bread for Windows. So Monkey Bread for Mac was such a success, and or too many Windows people were whining endlessly that they didn't have any monkey spread for Windows users. We're going to be bringing that back on Wednesday. Friday, WebViewer widget integrations with Kyle Williams. I have no idea what that is. So Kyle will probably do something. And it says, Kyle returns demonstrate how even beginners can integrate cool JavaScript widgets in their solutions with almost no coding skills. Okay. Hell will have frozen over and pigs will be airborne if Kyle doesn't do coding in a live stream. So I am suspect of that description down there. I think that description might be a lie, total lie, Kyle. I just calling it what I see. All right, so upcoming broadcast. Oregon Dean, having just migrated from Cloud 1 to Ubuntu, I have run across the fun of installing and updating plugins. What strategy do you use for updating plugins? Well, at least by moving out of Cloud 1, did Cloud 1 support plugins? Kind of, if you hacked it did install? Okay, yeah, because Cloud...
You could do it. You could
do it
the regular
Cloud
way
2,
too.
which is the current Cloud product, doesn't support server-side plugins. So if you like your monkey spread and you want it on your server, you cannot put monkey spread on Cloud 2. So you need to roll your own server. So we have that broadcast coming up. Oh, one last thing as a live stream. I will get to the server stuff. I'm on Friday, and I'm already starting hour 2.5 or almost hour 3 of broadcasting. That's a lot. As a reminder, if you want to support the channel, every one of you needs to support the channel. Most of you are complete. I recognize most of you from the live training. Thank you for being there. Have the complete bundle here, which will allow you to come to the certification training and watch the recordings. It's really awesome. For those of you who saw it today, we had sound effects. It was awesome. Everyone learned something new. It was very good. So, okay, now we're done with the promotional stuff. So now we're going to do server questions. So Oregon Dean had the first question. He's trying to do server-side plugins. Let's do questions. What are questions we have, right? What do we have? What do we have?
He was asking about the strategy to
update plugins.
Installing and whatever. So on Linux FileMaker Server, there's basically two ways to do it, which is you go in basically over SSH and put the files in the place put the plugin files where they go on the server, and then go enable them on the.
Hey, turn on your camera so we can see you talking. Right? You can't be
Sorry,
like talking like that. And
video.
he's been eating a
Like
burrito, so
that.
you still eating your burrito? Are you done with your
No.
burrito? Okay, good. All right. So what's the strategy then? One more time with the strategy from the guy in orange.
So you can put it's like most other servers. So you can put the plugins where they go on the server, over the command line SSH, or if you use like WinSCP or Transmit or something on Mac, something like that, and do a file transfer, put them where they go. That is kind of painful for obvious reasons, because you can't copy and paste it. It's not Windows Explorer, or you don't have Finder on Mac, and so you're going to do everything over the command line. Right. Sorry, Oregon Dean in Discord says SSH is a pain in the arse when you don't do that too often, which is totally accurate. So you can still use the install plugin script step to install and to update, I believe, plugins on the server side. However, the one note for that is you have to be within the perform script on server context. So you perform script on server and then do install plugin script step within the PSauce script. If you do that, then yeah, you can do FileMaker Server plugins and WebDirect, I believe. I don't know if the web presentation engine can do it, and I also don't know if the data API can do it that way specifically. But yeah. Anyway.
Okay, so for the record, Blair, I just went to Kyle's webpage and I didn't get the triple hackery ransomware alert warning that you just saw. So I got the normal JS page, whatever. So
that loaded right up. What is it? Known dangerous. Oh, Norton is blocking it.
Oh, that's Norton. Norton Utilities or Norton Antivirus.
Norton is blocking it. Yeah, it says blocked by Norton.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So, Monkey Bread says you can use the Monkey Bread plugin in scripts to started with the data API. So, let me ask a question here. So, since Christian Schmidt's not here, we'll have to just like channel him, or I guess we could call him in. We could. Hey, Margaret, should I call him? Well, the point is that when you install plugins on a server, you install them in several locations, like 3, right? 3?
Yeah, 4 now.
4 now. Okay. Christian Schmidt, can Monkey Spread load it into all 4 spots on the server? Yes. See, he should be here. So that's it. So if I can't do it, Monkey Bread does it. Yeah. Right. So that's always the answer. Does Monkey Bread do it?
Yeah. And so that probably is a secondary way of answering my previous hedging, which is I don't know if you can do. It's more complicated with the web presentation engine or the data API because of where you're coming from, because you're coming from like web code or something like that. But if that's the case, then same thing as doing a perform script on server, if you have a plugin in the file in a container field and you do a perform script on server with a install plugin script step inside of data API or web presentation engine, you should be able to get it installed that way. That will be slightly less painful than other options, but not painless. With no graphical environment on a Linux server or something like that, I don't think there's a painless way to manage that, but you can minimize it. Richard, you are muted.
I'm trying to get Christian to answer the phone. We invited him, and it's the indicator that he is in bed.
Yeah, just copy.
He's snuggled up. Yeah. So, all right, cool. Well, there's that question answer. Oh, he's here. He's here. Is he here? Talk to me.
Yeah. I'm here.
God, are you there? God?
No. He's the keeper from the zoo.
The zookeeper, the zoo, that's what we should call you, zookeeper. All right, so you're saying that we can use this on all 4 spots, right? And script it with your plugin?
Yeah, data API, WebDirect, and the normal server scripting.
Uh-huh.
And if you used to be custom web publishing, yeah, that's true.
Okay. So we buy your product and it helps with this. So there you go. All right, I love it. See, you're already important, and we didn't even try to involve you today. It's like, hey, leaving Christian Schmidt out of it. He's getting too much airtime on our TV show, right? But there he is. He keeps solving important problems. All right, Jacob Taylor, are you still there?
Yes.
Jacob is reading. Are you ready for another question, Jacob? Christian, if you just want to hang out in the event that we have another stump the moment here. So, Jacob, we're looking at the side of your head as you read questions. What is your next question?
Yep, I'm scrolling back through Discord looking for questions. So except for Mr. Ken here, who else do we have?
No one has any server questions? I'm shocked.
Oh, Oregon Dean asked previously. So he thought his FileMaker server license was originally capped at 25 files, but it is now 125. Is that today's standard cap?
Yes.
I don't know when it was 25, but it is definitely 125 today, yes.
Okay, the cap, so here's the things that you may be confusing caps. So caps are the number of simultaneous users, because you buy a 25 pack, so it limits you to the simultaneous users of 25, okay? That's one cap. Another cap that comes up is PSOS, and PSOS has been or is still, can start off at 25. And so there is the simultaneous license users, there's the files that you can host, and then you have PSOS simultaneous sessions that can run.
Sessions, yeah.
And
there's also there's a multiplier for, I don't know if the web presentation engine follows it or not, but the data API, at least when it first rolled out, had a seats, number of licensed seats times some number.
It's not the number of seats, it's the number of gigs, but that's not like that number is always going to be 400 gigs or a terabyte or something like that. It will never be 25 or 100.
I don't mean the data. I meant number of concurrent sessions that can be open on the server inside of data API. We ran into that problem very early when working with it.
It should be 4 or 5. I think, Christian, you chided me on this the other day. It's 500 right now. Hey, Jacob, we're looking forward to seeing you today. You're such a wonderful guy. Got a couple questions for you.
So here we go.
So
this is an email that he receives. A few of our clients receive emails like this. The meat of the email is this line right here. We get these honestly on a regular basis and really commonly at about 11 p.m., which is one of our daily backup schedules runs. So there's a bunch of our customers that get this email, and it'll say, basically error deleting, right? Some files or whatever could not be deleted, and it basically makes it sound like the backup failed. And it didn't. And this is an error, not a warning or an info, which is why you get emailed it. And basically it doesn't mean anything at all. I have never in 4 years seen this in any way negatively affect the backup system, actually. And I've got an email into Claris about this specific email, actually, which is the code 685 email, because when I first got hired by RCC, I went in every time I got one of these emails from one of our customer servers. I went and looked because I was panicked, thinking that, the backup system has failed. These the files couldn't be updated, blah blah blah. Something's interfering with the backup system, right? Like it's broken, it's not working, it's not capturing the files, it's not. None of those things are true. FileMaker Server gets really pissy when something, and that can be literally anything, is in its backup folders at the same time that it is. And so that could be antivirus. If you're dumping stuff into Dropbox, it'll be Dropbox. If you're zipping stuff and something doesn't quite finish quickly enough, same thing. It not only does it never break the backup system, at least in my observation, it also doesn't even prevent it doesn't even do what it says it's doing, which is some of the files couldn't be, deleted, moved, updated, whatever. It's trying to do its little hard linking updates stuff in its backup folder, and none of that stuff even fails. Because if you go in there, you go, oh God, I got this email, and you log into the server immediately, and you go into the referenced folder here, which in this case is the E drive, and then hourly S3 is the kind of parent backup folder location, right? And then the timestamp one is the one that FileMaker Server is making for you. You will find not the old folder, because actually this process finished successfully, even though you got this email. And it's one of the reasons why I put an email into Claris about it, because it's just spam. There's no this could theoretically be an issue. That is actually true. Like, it isn't wrong that they wrote an email alert for this or something, you know, like detecting, oh Lord, like we literally can't complete the backup because there's some problem with it or whatever, like the drive is moving too slowly or, you know, whatever. There's issues like that. And this almost universally is none of those other cases. And so it just ends up being trash. I have gotten similar emails when it's true, when a backup literally, because the drive is too slow to complete the backup in a reasonable amount of time or something like that. As an example, if you had a large volume of secure external container data, and uploading or updating all of the hard links for that just takes forever. There's no way around it. It's an IOPS, input-output operations per second conversation mostly, because most of the data doesn't change, but all of the file paths have to be updated with a new hard link, or re-linked up into the new folder, or however it works. And so, you know, if you have like 4 million files, well, you have to do at least 4 million operations plus the folders and all the other stuff. So that like could happen, but that's not what this email is.
Okay.
And so, yeah.
Did you have another one? Because we do have one on YouTube and one on Twitch. So do you have another one from
Ken? It's just assuming that I kind of covered Ken's questions here, which is what's happening, why is it happening, do we care?
Yeah.
No, I don't have any other questions. It's just this one from.
All right, so I want to welcome all the people on YouTube and Twitch. So we will get to both of you. So I got Rick Fosnot. Welcome, Rick. WJ Warner. Welcome from Twin Cities. Yep, he was there in the certification training. WJ is going to get certified. He's going to be awesome. Michael Kerwin, I got a message from Clara. Okay, here's this question. I got a message from Clara saying my certificate is expiring soon. ... Will this mean I won't be able to use server locally on my machine? It's an interesting question because either it's your license certificate or your SSL certificate, and Claris wouldn't tell you about your SSL certificate expiring.
Claris won't tell you. So unless it's literally a license renewal email, which will come from like an account rep at Claris, Claris actually won't tell you about the licensing either, but if you have server emails turned on, your server will tell you. And what your server will tell you is either one of about 3 things. It will tell you if it thinks that your license is going to expire soon. I think soon is within 30 days is when it pops that.
The Claris, the license for buying the product, right? The usage.
Yeah. This still comes out of your server specifically,
but
it's because your server checks in every night, and so it knows if you haven't renewed, and it'll.
Yeah, your server snitches on you behind your back, right? It's a snitch. It's like
every 24 hours.
It snitches, and so okay.
Yep.
So
there's that. There's another one that you can get out of the server where it'll tell you that it hasn't been able to phone home recently. There's one of those that's been going on for over 180 days, and I'm letting it run to see what happens, if it ever actually gets mad and does something bad to the client. And then for the other certificate, which is your SSL, again, Claris will not tell you anything about an SSL, but your server might. If your server emails you to tell you that your SSL is expiring, then your
SSL is expiring.
Your SSL is expiring.
Hey, so Michaels, I want to confirm that when you said I got a message from Claris, so is it from Claris like the corporation, or is it like a text, it's like an email, but it's got very text, right? Like plain text email? Right? What are we talking about here? Because I'm assuming if it's from FileMaker Server, it will not be beautifully formatted. It'll be this, like the one that Ken was just looking at. It's kind of a block of crap, right? Just like, it's like a log. It's like, hey, by the way, your SSL is going to expire. Good luck. Have a nice life. Okay, well, we got that question. So hopefully we answered that. There's about a 90-second delay between us and YouTube. And then we got What's it, Jim? So what's it, Jim, or what's it, Jim? Is that how do I handle Windows updates and closing FileMaker files on server?
So the safest way is you close the files and shut the server software off, kick off the Windows updates, reboot, come back up again.
So you're saying a manual update of the.
Yeah, correct. So that's our current recommendation. Claris is working on making that not be strictly speaking necessary, but due to the reasons that RCC disables automatic file opening, which are not related to Windows updates per se. I mean, that's a good reason, because still actually a reboot like that there is a risk that it fails to shut down FileMaker Server correctly and you come up on crashed files or something. I haven't actually observed that so far, and some of my customers are a little excitable about installing various updates, and I haven't seen them run into it. So it's probably a low risk thing, but if you leave auto open databases on, which is one of the features that will let you, like automatically install a Windows update and come back up again afterwards, for example, that setting being on causes other issues, which is if the reason that it went down was not Windows updates or something like that, but the power went out, or FileMaker Server crashed and fell over, or like whatever, something like that, something that truly would damage the files, you end up a creek. And so I am hopeful. Oh, and then I paused.
Yep, your face quit. Your face quit moving.
My face quit facing.
Yeah.
So basically that's like the issue with it. So yeah, for Windows updates, I guess theoretically you could just let it run and fully automatic reboot. Like theoretically, that's reasonable, at least per what Claris's recommendations are and how the software is set up out of the box. We don't do that.
Claris's recommendations will also result in you having a damaged file that no longer opens.
Correct.
I can't believe, although Nick used to say this all the time, he would never get into it because Nick's very good about keeping secrets. He worked at Apple, but he says Claris got sued all the time. And I can only imagine that files that don't open would be like one of the number one, a good reason to sue them. Yeah. So, and so it seems to me that them having the auto open on is an automatic. I mean, your attorneys, if they want to have billable hours, definitely push to have that feature turned on, the auto open, right? So anyway, so let me back up and have a broader question. So we definitely recommend Windows updates. Yes.
Yep.
How often would we manually run them? We would close the server and run them once a week.
We have like 2 customers who are contracted to do that for. One of them wants them monthly, one of them wants them quarterly. Okay. They only come out monthly, so.
Well, the only trick is if you have a 0 day and then you have to get off and move faster. So a 0 day attack, which means that that the bad guys already run the risk of coming right on in. Christian Schmidt is still awake. It's Friday night. He has no life. He's going to go to bed with his monkey. Do you have anything to add to these conversations about the auto open and this stuff?
No, but you want to avoid your Windows server to kill FileMaker Server because that would damage your files.
Yeah, correct.
So you want to have them properly shut down.
Yeah, and so what we
Windows update, you will want to configure that so it doesn't run at a time where your office is busy.
Right. Yep. So the trick is, what our concern is about this is that if Windows tells the server to shut down, there have been, and see, here's the thing. Let's back up on this, and I'm not picking on them, but I'm going to pick on them. So Claris has got a lot of new people, and a lot of the lessons they've learned over the years they have to kind of relearn the lessons, right? And one of the lessons is that you don't. You make like when you build a FileMaker server update or something, it has to actually update and not destroy the server. Okay, they keep learning this. About every other release, they forget something and they have to go back and relearn it. Why? Because they have different staff down there. That's one. And then the other one is telling the FileMaker server to shut down. All of you think, hey, just tell the server shut down, it shuts down. Kinda. It may not shut down, in which case then your Windows, well, it might say it takes 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 minutes, but your Windows update process, they program it, the Microsoft people being the brilliant people that they are, it tells the server that, well, this process is probably crashed, so we're going to force quit the process. Now, FileMaker server is still running, doing whatever stupid thing it's doing, and not shutting the files off, so then the Windows server goes, you will stop now, terminate, gone, and the files are not closed properly, and they're potentially damaged. It's not a trivial chance, maybe 20% chance of damage or more. And so then it runs the updates on Windows, then the machine restarts. And the setting that literally was marketing really pushed for this. This goes back to Ryan Rosenberg. The marketing department pushed for the fact that these files would auto open because, well, FileMaker's supposed to be friendly and loving and snuggly, and it's like our little teddy bear, and here it is. And they want it to be snuggly and wonderful, and therefore it should never leave people on the side of the road. It should never abandon them. It should always be snuggly and happy, which means it auto starts. Except what if Clarice over here loses her mind, turns into a killer? Okay, you don't want her to auto start. So if the files are damaged, you don't want it to auto start. You want to force the user to restore from the last backup. So it's the difference between who's in charge at Claret, or is it the engineers who and the lawyers who don't want to get sued, and the engineers don't want the calls. Okay, so who's in charge? I don't know.
Yeah, and I can give you kind of two specific actually cases where Windows updates can themselves crash FileMaker Server, and this is also separate. So we're recommending Windows updates here. That is in fact technically a policy change at RCC because previously we didn't, and that's because they used to break FileMaker Server.
Like every time it would break it every time. Yeah.
And we'd install it and we'd find like one good version, and then you'd sit on that for a while, and then you'd like test stuff going forward and hope that you had a development box or a production one that were separate and stuff like that. So the specific examples though, so it's gotten a lot better recently, but there was at least a couple of years when I first worked here where the Windows update process itself would consume so much RAM that it would cause Windows to shoot FileMaker Server because, well, Windows Update needs the RAM more than the random background application does. And that's not wrong. Also, that killed FileMaker Server with the databases open half the time with people in it. And so that's why I tell people, close the files, shut FMS down. And it's strictly speaking, it may not be necessary, and they've made a bunch of improvements, but it's the safe option, basically. At least close the files. If you do nothing else, at least close the files, please. That's all. Just so that that's safe. I don't know if Windows gets mad and kills FileMaker Server because the update process is running wild. I don't actually care because if the databases are closed, it doesn't matter. Like that, truly, just honestly speaking, there's so many like finicky, cantankerous old FileMaker servers I've went into, and I'm responsible for recovery. Don't kill the client. Got it. And so the first thing that you do is you get the files closed, because if FileMaker Server has been running for 3 years or something and it's just not having a happy time of it, it may crash when you tell it to do something. It may not respond at all actually afterwards. And so if you can get the files closed, you're good to go. Doesn't matter. FileMaker Server can fall over all at once because the files are closed. So it'll come back up again later.
Perfect. All right. Well, that answers that question. Hopefully you folks understand some of that, right? And it's once again, one of those things that after 33, like Jacob has got this email and he's dealing with Claris because Jacob is young and he's idealistic and he hopes that people will listen to him. And after 33 years, I'm just like, if they were going to listen, they'd have listened by now, right? So I'm just like, So my patience for repeat, like when I have staff that repeat the same error over and over and over, I'm like kind of like, right? And so people are supposed to learn from their mistakes and not endlessly repeat them, right? And so that's kind of the goal, what I ask for. What I ask of you, don't repeat the same mistakes 20 times and then hope the outcome is somewhat different on the last one. Was that insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting the same outcome, right?
Yeah, there you go. Make new mistakes every day.
I would make new mistakes every day. I at least I wouldn't be mad at Ken, right? So it'd be like, hey, Ken learned he's got a new mistake. When you get older, you quit making the mistakes because you've made all the mistakes, right? Or all the obvious ones. About once or twice a year, we run into something I haven't seen before, but anymore, it's like, I've seen that before. Where have I seen that before? Oh, that was right. Christian Schmidt was doing that. All right. So, Christian Schmidt, are you going to be going to DevCon in Tennessee this year? I got the little survey.
Yeah, of course.
You going to go to the survey? Going to be there?
Yeah. Okay. I got a new passport for that and signed up for Esther already.
Oh, have you? Did you sign up for a booth already?
No, Esther, the registration for people coming in the US.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I was not familiar with that. That's fine. Well, we'll make sure we take a helicopter. We'll give the monkey spread commander a fly around the helicopter. It'll be fun. So anyway, what else is going on? Jacob, Taylor, other questions we have? Other questions from anyone? Jim, if that was Jim Watts, welcome Jim Watts.
You had some perform script on server question.
Well, the question was, and I'm looking at my screen over here a little bit, and you're in a little window there. It had to do with if you created a schedule, create schedule. So these are backup schedules, but you create a schedule, but I don't want it to be a backup. How do you do the, where's the SASE at?
That's, yeah.
Oh, it's over here. So it's a schedule over here. So then you come over here and you want to blow cache out. Okay, that runs. So that's one right. Let's create a new one temporarily. So you identify a file, FileMaker file, schedule name, JT, Jacob Taylor. You pick a database, say we want to open the starting point right here and have it do something, right? So there it is there. And then you're going to have tell it to run a script. No scripts are available for the specified account. Okay, so
on the database dropdown, you got to fill in a username and password, or it's not going to do anything for you.
Okay, hang on. I messed that up. Oh, right there. Okay, so yeah, so I've got if it'll let me do it. Okay, I'm clicking in it.
You got to change.
Oh, guest. Why is it guest? Boy, they don't even like normal. The default should have been the other one. That's kind of weird. All right, so we got that in there, and now it's set. Now it's going to use my credentials to log in and to set the device mode or something like that. Like that. And then timeout. Okay, here's the timeout.
Is that what you were?
So this is the timeout right here. And so like this script takes 5 seconds. So I would say 1 minute is the maximum. In the schedule, end the schedule. So if it reaches a timeout, then it quits running it in the future, I guess. I don't really think that. I don't believe that's testable or is on the test.
That checkbox is supposed to be kill it if it runs over.
Yeah, well,
but I don't know why you'd enter a timeout and
then do that. Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of free.
Why would it?
Yeah. So there it is. So I'm going to save it. So there it is.
Yeah.
Oh, I need to tell it when to run. So I could tell it to run every. Let me see if I could tell it to run every minute. So when would it edit? So I want to run it once, every daily frequency.
You want daily? Yep.
Is it daily? I don't.
Daily, and then change that to between.
And then. Oh, there it is. This is the really misleading thing. So every minute. That's kind of wild.
They really should have an hourly frequency option.
Yeah, that's so bad. And then between 2300, and never has a thing. And then we say, okay, I guess we click out. We hit save. So then it's going to. I don't even know if the script is so fast. I don't even know if it'll show up on the users. But when it fires,
you have to turn it on. Or it won't fire.
Hang on, not now. Go back.
Disabled. Yep.
Hang on. Go back here. Oh, that's right. I have to switch to turn it on. So now it's running, and I could always tell it to run now. Run now. Failed. Ah! Why did it fail?
I don't know.
So how would we need to check the log, right? Can we get to the logs in here? Log viewer.
If you turn interactive on, yep, you see how it says disabled.
Yep, interactive there. 3 logs. Okay, great. Event log. Script. Oh, it ran into a script step it doesn't support. God. So it did run. It did run. It just
database. Yep. You can see it all the way through.
Yeah. So there it is. So, but it's got the timeout on it. So, if we
it's a script that only literally does one thing that's not supported on server. Got it.
Yeah, I guess right. So, because normally it's supposed to just ignore the commands it doesn't know. It just doesn't eject. I'm pretty sure. So anyway, so PSOS. There's no option for that to give it a timeout or delay. So someone was asking that question today. During this certification training, and I don't think that's a testable. It could. I think it's fair game. If they asked a question on it, I wouldn't complain. But I don't think it's on the test right now. I don't believe. Yeah. I don't remember seeing that.
No.
So.
If you needed an expiry and a perform script on server or something, you're going to build your own
Okay, so the other one Kyle's bringing up is the process of bat files. So this has to do with system level scripts, which we're going to cover next week, I guess. I might drag you into the certification training a little bit next week when I get the server stuff, Jacob, just in case interesting questions come up. But if I go to configuration, scripts, and then I say I want to do another new script, and I want to do a FileMaker server script, right? But then what you can do is go through... I think do this one here. I go through the same thing here. FMSP.
Which one? You're trying to do a batch file script demo?
Well, the person's asking about a batch file script, but I think this is a batch file script is a system level script. If it's not, it doesn't do it. So then you could say FileMaker script will run a get layout, show status toolbar. I'll just say set device mode. That'll be a different script. Okay. Timeout 2 minutes, save. Okay, but hang on, that was premature. Premature. How do I settings? There we go. So we want it.
Settings. Yep.
What I do? Repeat.
The interface is not super fun.
Is it? Did I select the wrong one? FileMaker script. I think it's. I think I have. I did.
So that's why I was asking, because if you're trying to demo a batch file,
I did the wrong one.
You don't have one in there. Yeah, it has to be the other kind, actually.
Okay, so let me try that again. Let's try it again. Create new. Because you could tell that we use this. I don't think I've ever, in 33 years, ever used this once. A server guy. Jacob, you might use it, but I personally.
We actually don't.
Script sequence. Says that is the key word.
That's the one that you want.
Everyone, as a secret, okay, for those of you who's at the certification training, here comes your visual aid. Ready? Or your ear aid. You hear that? What does that mean? Just keep it to yourself, okay? That right there, okay? So we're going to put that in. And then we're going to call it JT, well, let's call it a sequence, alpha. Exit plan alpha. Database set. Starting point. Admin. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's amazing security code. No one abuse that, please. FileMaker script, we're going to set, oh, there it goes. It logged in and then checks it. So set device mode. And then we're going to do a system level script. What the system level script does allows us to run a script before, then run another system level script after. So you can run a system level script before and after. And then the, oh, wait a minute. So this whole before and after thing, hang on, here we go. Before and after. And then a countdown here. The selected account will be used to run both scripts. Mac OS or Linux, the default account is FM Server, not the admin for this interface. This is different. This is the FM Server operating system username, okay? In Windows, it'll be a default local system account, okay? Wait a minute, hang on. This little paragraph.
That little paragraph is actually really important.
Okay.
Because if you are running as FM Server on Mac or Linux and local system on Windows, you are subject to the security constraints of those users. Yeah. So this is where you, for example, on newer versions of Mac, you have to like go in there. So if not, I don't know how many of you have set up FileMaker servers on Mac lately, but if you have, you'll note that if you needed to back up to an external drive or something like that, because you want a little extra copies of your database, you've got to go in there and add FileMaker Server to the list to be able to write to those drives. So the implication here is you would not be able to do that, at least out of the box. You may have to add stuff or modify.
Okay, so the question is can the script be a what is a bat? We're talking about
bat's Windows.
A bat is Windows. Okay, that's not PowerShell.
Nope, that's PS1.
Okay.
.bat and .ps1 are batch and PowerShell.
Okay.
Respectively.
Okay. So yeah, so the answer is yes. It would go here. You could run it before or just after or both before and after.
You're on screen share. We can show do you want to open up the FileMaker Server app folder on your server in Finder?
You can. This part's not on the test, but that's fine. We could do that.
Oh, you even got it zoomed in? Nice.
Yeah.
So in your data folder, that scripts folder, that's where you're going to put So if it was Mac, you don't have anything in there, of course. But if it's Mac, you could put a shell script in there. If it's Windows, I think you can put batch files. Linux shell also. So
well, where's the other? But on the other one that we did, this is the maintenance one that we do up here. This one, no.
Those are the ones that are showing you for the system script dropdown. Yep.
Let me see the cache blowout. This one here. So how does it? Where do they come from? They're in a different directory somewhere.
Nope, same place.
Same place. Okay.
Yep. So
except
that down.
See these
that's
two.
The list.
Yeah,
yes.
but those two are not.
Those are magic. They're magic.
Okay, that's what I'm asking. You said it's the same place. Okay, same place. I don't see anything here. So you're saying they are magic?
They don't give us their magic scripts, unfortunately.
Okay, so what you will see here, this is not, I don't think a test question, but you're seeing the magic scripts plus whatever's in the scripts folder.
Correct.
FileMaker Server, data, scripts folder. Okay, so there you go. The scripts the
magic scripts are new as of, I think, 19.3.
These scripts here are nothing to do with FileMaker scripts in the script workspace. These are operating system, PowerShell, whatever scripts. On the Mac, it's not PowerShell. What is it on the Mac that we use? Or is it PowerShell? I don't use PowerShell.
No, it's just shell. Terminal, but it's Bash on old or Z Shell new Mac.
Okay, great.
Newer Mac.
All right, so we're going to probably have to recover this again because there's some certification people that are not here. But next week we have a server day in there, Jacob. So I'm going to invite you to 11 o'clock on that.
Kyle posted a screenshot of his FileMaker Server admin console, but it's showing his batch file in the scripts. It's the scripts folder on Windows. It's the same place.
Yeah. So can I zoom in over here on this computer? Let me see. Can I zoom? Let me see if I can do that. So whatever copy of Zealot is.
Yeah, copy zealot.bat. Yep.
So it does do it. I can guarantee that the .bat is not on the test. So people are asking me. That's always the thing. You see something new, and then you're like, hey, is that thing? And it's like, hey, we're focusing on the test. And on the test, we don't really want to talk about it at that time slot. So anyway, so pretty interesting, folks. We're coming up 2 o'clock. It's going to be, unfortunately, only a 2-day weekend. I've been working my ass off since before Christmas on all this stuff, so I need about a week off. But, Anyway, any other questions about FileMaker Server installs? Wait a minute, hang on. Jim Watt says, have you ever used Let's Encrypt for SSL, like Blue Feather Script ?
Is that the...
I'll copy and paste it into...
I don't know the answer to that question. Is that the Blue Feather? Hold on.
There it is. I just put the link in there. Bluefeathergroup.com.
Yeah, Let's Encrypt. I think that's the script that Art uses.
On his server?
Yeah. This is so. The official answer is no. We haven't used it. The unofficial answer is one of our engineers runs a FileMaker server at his house and has been using that script and setup for couple of years now without any real issue.
Okay, so if you would like to hire him at $120 an hour to explain to you, you can do that. But getting Art to show up to a live stream, I hate to do that because the guy he makes Mac only stuff, and if you want to talk about Windows, he's really belligerent about it, and so you better bring your own Windows support because he ain't going to help you. But Mac, in terms of Mac stuff, he is one of the sharper cookies in the drawer, sharper knives in the drawer.
Yeah, he's a good engineer.
Yeah, he's a good engineer.
But we don't recommend Let's Encrypt to anybody, to clients for basically any reason, because if you are familiar with Let's Encrypt, you know that the certificates only last for 60 or 90 days. So that may be acceptable if you are already in the process of rebooting your FileMaker server all the time, because you've got Windows updates running all the time, or you're doing Mac updates monthly or something like that. And so it may not actually be too much like annoyance or problems for you to do that. But most of our servers, once we install them, they run for a year or more before anyone touches it, ideally anyway. And so we don't recommend it. You have to reboot the server every 2 months to get a new one. So
okay, so if you're rebooting the server, Let's Encrypt can work. maybe we could, it would be interesting to have that conversation, but people are going to promptly say, what about Windows, right? So so that might be a Mac only kind of conversation.
And that's the thing is most of the servers that we set up are Windows, and even the ones, it's like $4 a month to buy one from GoDaddy. So I don't like it's not relevant for the cost or anything else. I love Let's Encrypt. RCC uses them on all of our websites because it's really easy to use it for websites, particularly. That doesn't matter at all. But FileMaker Server is a little more cantankerous and a bigger thing to be rebooting. The other thing worth noting is, as we've mentioned before, having the auto-open database turned off makes Let's Encrypt, like if you were trying to run that thing automatically every month or two, good luck, because they're going to come back up off. Best case, everything works correctly, and you come back up and your databases are now off every 2 months or whatever. Maybe that's fine, but just like fair warning, basically, if you're going to go into something like that, you'll either have to have them set to auto, which we do not recommend, or you're going to have to know when that schedule is going to run, and go help the server get back up again or something. So if you want to log into the server every 2 months and do stuff, that's your prerogative, but I try and avoid it.
Okay, cool.
They'll keep operating if you don't mess with them.
All right. Well, that's the... Christian Schmidt, you there? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just remembered that Claris restarts their server each night for some reason.
Oh, Cloud. Yes.
So you can do the same.
Too.
Like you can have a check running at 2 a.m. and then check if someone is connected, and if nobody's connected and nothing is running, you can reboot if you like.
Yep.
Assuming that it shuts the files down correctly, right? So we're back to that.
Assuming that you have auto open turned on.
Yeah.
Which you do on Cloud too, because that's Claris's environment, but.
Well, you may just do your backups at midnight and then restart at 2 a.m.
Yeah. We have one customer in testing actually that's doing the what is it? It's the other script that Richard was showing. It closes all the files, manually verifies all of them, and then opens them back up again.
Yep.
It does a full. It's not like a recover. Oh my Lord, I wish we could do an actual recover on the server side, but. I would love to do that like once a week. There's a couple customers. I would love to run a recover and have it email me a log once a week. That would be amazing.
Oh, to see what sort of stuff pops up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we don't trust the customer.
Especially if that log is different. There's a couple customers that their setups are so janky. I don't know. I have questions.
You have questions. If Jacob has questions, we're all in trouble. All right. Well, I want to thank all of you for those of you wondering about this stuff. So Christian Schmidt, and I will obviously, I guess we could extend it to the people here today, but he offered the 20% discount bonus on the Monkey Bread stuff. So if you don't have Monkey Bread and you want it, you want the 20% discount. I guess I could pop that up real quick so everyone could see that. So this is what we're doing for the certification, the people who have the complete bundle and they're attending the certification training. And I'm also going to email this to all the complete bundle subscribers. This is the 20% off. So if you happen to watch this video, recorded on internet and you don't own any of our training, you're getting a free 20% bonus just because you're watching us to the end, and there you go. So, but this stuff is great. Great. I love it. So, any other questions? So Tawa's there. Okay, wait. WJ has a question. Any comments into server working with ear encryption at rest? WJ, if I say the F word, will it bother you? Will anyone be objected here?
Exactly 2 comments.
Okay, but I'm going to ask because, okay, just wait. WJ, I need to know whether WJ is going to be offended. Anyone else going to be offended if I say the F word? Okay, I need to know that. Let me know. That's the first one. And then Tawa has a question. Anything wrong with restarting the server? No, except shut the files down first, right? We talked about that, right? Maybe you came late to that conversation. Shut the files down first. There's an outside chance that the shutdown may not run timely enough if you If you just tell the Mac, like if I go over to the Mac, okay?
I'll put it this way.
Yeah.
I've told FileMaker Server to shut down, like, the outside way using either services in Windows or launch CTL on Mac, the command line shutdown. If you do that, it will wait. I think the default I don't know what launch control does on Mac. The Windows, it will wait. I think the default is 2 minutes or 3.
Mm-hmm.
I have seen them take 5+ with no real issue, because it's doing final accounting and file close maintenance. And that is what everybody forgets about when they're closing the files. They think, oh, there's a couple bits you have to adjust to say the file's closed, and then it releases the handle on the file or something. Okay, cool. Like, that's super low level, but like, people are thinking, oh, it does a couple things. It kicks everybody off. It does a little. It's closed now, and it stops interacting with the file. That's not true at all. There's a ton of file maintenance that happens at file close time on the server. So.
I can second that. They free all the blocks on the end of the file which are no longer needed. So your file may get smaller after you deleted a lot of stuff.
But that takes time for it to process that, right? So if I say close all right now, oh, you're going to do it in 2 minutes. It may or may not do it in 2 minutes. This one probably will. But so we're doing that before we do the restart. Then do the restart, okay? Okay, WJ says, no offense. Okay, WJ, here's the thing. Can you use ear with FileMaker Server? Write the password, the ear password, down on a piece of paper. I can't tell you how many companies in the last week and a half, because Claire shut off Cloud One, they didn't write the passwords down, literally had their databases disappear from the face of the earth with the data gone forever, and they are Jacob, would you like to edit anything I said?
No, I'm not holding up a peace sign. I'm holding up the number of customers who lost their database because they didn't retain their ear.
That we know about.
Just our customers.
Okay, so
really good.
So this is not on the certification test, but it should be. Write it down. Listen, post it to a Post-it note on your computer. Do something. People's like, oh, it's not secure. If a hoodlum gangster breaks into my house, they might see my password, my ear password. And that hoodlum gangster is going to know how to use FileMaker and get into my FileMaker. Blah, 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 blah. No. No. Not going to happen. If they break through the door, they're going to beat you with a baseball bat, okay? That's your own problem. I got a plan for that. I can handle that. Can you handle that? I can handle that. So the question is, write it down. 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 Yep. I got a Rocky montage. Dun, 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 dun. Write that down. Write it down. Write it down. Write it down. Because you can't get it back. It's gone.
Yep.
Okay, next question.
The only other note I was going to make about ears also, and it's just a tip. If you're doing some kind of offsite backup with an encrypted at rest file, please be aware you will gain absolutely nothing for compression or anything like that on an encrypted file. They don't compress at all. So I would advise you to not waste your processing power and just don't.
Wait. Can you recover ear while the file is live and openable? No. There's no hack software there. I'm like, if you're the NSA and you want to call over to Gina Haskell, for those of you guys who know Gina Haskell, but she calls over to the NSA and says, break into to database, she could probably get it for you.
And that's still assuming the NSA knows more than the rest of us about math, which, to be honest, is probably true.
Probably true. I would suspect they could get into it, but it might take them a week or a day or whatever. And so Gina's going to have to call over there for you and say, hey, I'm Gina Haskell, and I need this busted into right the now. And they're going to go like, yes, ma'am, right? And that's what will happen.
So the files they're AES 256 on disk. So good luck, basically.
Yeah.
You're not, yeah.
Okay.
So we had one business that totally lost their database. We did if you all were here for the stream, we did the Star Trek transporter.
Oh,
rebuilding the file.
That was like definite 007 triple amazing. You're like Q in there, queuing the shit out of the database. You just queued that thing. Oof.
We had to do that for one client, and another we actually attempted to migrate them from Cloud 1 to Cloud 2 under the assumption that they had all their encryption passwords. And it turned out that they had put at least a different encryption password for at least every other file. We ended up with 2 different encryption passwords covering 4 files out of a total of 10 that they were hoping to bring over. Fortunately, most of the old data was, from a previous business and didn't really matter. But they have that data as it was uploaded, in 2015 originally.
All right. Have a good one, everyone. That's it for Friday. It's drinks time. I don't drink, but if I did drink, I'd be having a double of something gnarly, vodka something. All right. That's it. Where's the end button? I got an end button on this one. This is pretty cool. Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir!